Alright guys, here you go. Here's the video you guys requested of the Montero Sport. I've got the little ES model 4-cylinder. Just the stuff I've added to it. I painted the factory 16-inch steelies, put the little DSM red decals inside. You can't probably tell, but I've got cross-drilled and slotted rotors in behind there. I added the running boards to it. And those videos particularly pertaining to the exhaust, which there you can see I ran the little 4-inch diesel tip. Goes all the way in. Pipe goes in behind the tire, back down around the frame. There's the muffler welded in. I ran a center 2 1/4 inch in, and then a offset 2 1/4 out. Go around to the engine bay. Here's all the gossip about the short ram intake that everybody was talking about. I got this whole pipe set up right here on eBay. It was for a 96 to 98 Honda Accord B6 short ram intake. Came with the pipe, came with the hose, and it came with a different filter on it. I ran this filter just so it has the ram air function on it. You can pull it straight from inside the hood. This MAF adapter here, don't go with the one from O'Reilly's. It's a little bit more expensive at O'Reilly's. This one here was about, I want to say $15 to $20 with a filter. I went to Lowe's and made this aluminum bracket here. You can get 3 feet of it. It's 1 1/4 inch wide by, I want to say it's 1/8 of an inch aluminum. Stuck it in a vise, bend it to a 90-degree. Ran that little bolt and nut assembly right there to hold it in place, so you can tell I'm shaking the shit out of it and it's not doing anything. Another little nifty mod I did to this thing is I made this bracket back here for 2 oil catch cans. If you do your research on what a catch can does, your engine vents any kind of crankcase pressure you have. So back here is your PCV valve. This hose here recirculates back into the manifold. I've got a second catch can on order. It'll be here in a couple days, but that one's going to get bolted right here. And basically, as that vacuum line is pulling the air back from the PCV for the vent, any kind of oil gets caught in this catch can here, hence the term oil catch can. It's going to catch it. It's got this little plastic sight glass on the side of it to tell you how full it's getting. And then there's a drain plug on the bottom so you can drain that oil out once this thing gets full. The whole purpose of this is that since your engine is venting the oil, it's going to catch it in the can rather than recirculate it back through your manifold, back into your valves and get all burned up and possibly end up warping a valve from it. I did it just to keep the engine running cleaner. I just rebuilt the cylinder head about maybe 3,000 to 4,000 miles ago. Put all new valves and springs and all that stuff in it. For the oil pressure gauge you guys were looking at, here's the sender from it. The filter is right here next to it. That's where my hand's at. There's a sandwich adapter you can get from Glow Shift, is an aftermarket company. You just put the 1/8 inch adapter on it, thread it in there. Unfortunately, it looks kind of jerry-rigged. I had to ground out the gauge to the sender assembly. That's why that wire's there. And like I said, it's kind of cluster mess right now. But I had to ground it out to the oil sender there so that it would actually get a signal from it, because I hooked it up and it wasn't sensing oil pressure. For the boost gauge, I tapped into my brake booster line. It goes into the brake booster down here. I just added a T right here with the boost line going into it. That's what I use to monitor the intake manifold vacuum. You have to forgive me for the wind, and I've got all the toys in the driveway. Wife's Honda Rebel. My baby, it's up for sale. Check it out, pfomustangs.com. Had to throw that one in there. And then I've got my 2007 Bandit 1250 over there. Put a couple 10s in the back of it. Go around to the interior here and we'll do a quick startup and exhaust video for you. Did the white-faced aftermarket gauges I found on eBay. They were like 25 or 30 bucks, something like that. You can change the color of them, control the brightness of them. The 2 little lights there are dummy lights. Since I did an electric fan conversion on the truck, that red one tells me when my electric fan's on, and whenever I put my fog lights on, the blue light turns on to let me know my lights are on. Just went with a Pioneer head unit. It's got iPod integration. Stuck some Velcro to the dash, so there's my iPod. You just click it right up in there. I like it just so you can detach it so nobody can see your stuff. Here's the gauges. They are Autometer auto lights. Like I said, the boost gauge there is where I ran that T at. This faceplate here you can get on eBay for like 15 bucks or so. Like I said, I ran that gauge there. It's got green LEDs in it. You're not going to see the lights because it's daylight out, but that will tell you what your intake manifold vacuum is. I use it because my truck doesn't have cruise control, so typically when I'm doing about 60, 65 miles an hour, it'll usually sit between 10 and 15 inches of mercury vacuum. That way I know I'm probably getting the best gas mileage, but you'll be able to tell because when the truck's running, it's under vacuum, and as you give it gas, it loses its vacuum trying to make pressure, but of course it's going to have zero vacuum, zero pressure because it's constant flowing air. There's the voltmeter, self-explanatory. And then here's the oil pressure gauge. It's an electric one. That's why I ran that little sending unit. Everything came from Autometer. It's probably like 45 bucks, but since I've put all this time into working on this engine here, I really just want it to last, so I'd like to know what this engine's doing as far as how much intake pressure it's got as well as the oil pressure. A lot of you guys have the nicer models. I just went with these cheap little Japanese tweeters. They were, I believe, $3 or $4 a pair. Really made the audio quality from the factory system sound better. I've got some 5 1/4 inch Kenwoods in all 4 doors. So there you can see the tweeter there. I put a tweeter right there in the door. It looks almost like it's factory. And of course everything's pretty much all factory replacement stuff. Here's a nice little kicker here. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but go ahead and get in there. She just rolled 200,000 miles this week, so I'm actually pretty excited about it. A buddy of mine is going out on a limb and saying that he thinks I can get 350,000 miles out of this thing before I need to rebuild the bottom end. But here's the moment of truth you guys wanted with the exhaust. You'll have to forgive me, I hardwired my radar detector up into the clock so that whenever the clock kicks on, it kicks on my radar detector so I don't have to use that stupid cigarette lighter. Nice quiet running little 4-cylinder. Give it a little. There's a nice little close-up. Hopefully it's not raspy in the video, but I'm gonna go ahead and set the phone in the grass here.